is taking a much deserved break right now. So I get to spend some time with you today. Our lesson is all about kingdom parables and how they give us a way to understand how God's kingdom is still growing and it's more valuable to us than anything. So, what is a parable? It's a simple story that Jesus used to help people understand God's kingdom. The Gospels record dozens of Jesus' parables for us to read. Each parable was used to teach a lesson and to share a truth about God's kingdom. Today's part of the big God story reminds us that his kingdom is still growing, and it's so very valuable. It is worth giving everything for. Our lesson begins in Matthew chapter 13. Jesus compares God's kingdom to a mustard seed and to leaven or yeast to show how his kingdom is growing. Have you ever seen a mustard seed? Ask your parents to Google a picture. It is teeny tiny. But that itty bitty mustard seed grows into a tree that can reach up to 20 feet high and almost 20 feet wide. Birds actually can build nests in its branches. How about yeast? When you mix a tiny bit of yeast with a big ball of dough, it affects all of the flour in that dough and causes it to rise or grow in size. Jesus told this parable to explain how God's kingdom is still growing. It began as something small with just Jesus and his 12 disciples here on earth. But it has grown and spread to people all over the world because of people like you and me sharing the good news with those around us. Jesus also told another story about a man working in a field, and he found a treasure. He knew how valuable this treasure was, so he sold everything he owned to buy this field so he would have the treasure. Another man was looking for a pearl and came across a priceless one. He sold everything he had to buy this priceless pearl. These parables help us understand how valuable God's kingdom is and how it started small here on earth, but it is still growing. Next week, our lesson is going to be about Jesus' parables for those who are lost. Tune in next week and learn how Jesus came and sought out lost souls.